tonight, the search for peace in Chicago following the murder of 9-year-old Tyshawn Lee leads an Illinois congressman to a supermax prison.
It was Congressman Bobby Rush who went to ADMAX prison in Florence, Colorado. He met there with 2 inmates who founded the gangs at the center of a dispute that police say triggered Tyshawn's murder a week ago tonight.
Eyewitness News reporter Charles Thomas live tonight from Colorado to tell us what happened at that meeting. Charles.
Ron, Kathy, I'm outside the most secure prison in the United States. It's where Congressman Bobby Rush held private meetings today with 2 of Chicago's original gangsters.
Right now, as I see it, they're part of the solution, not part of the problem.
The Reverend Congressman Bobby Rush was in full pastoral dress as he talked with Larry Hoover and Abdul Malik Kabah, formerly known as Jeff Fort, about Tyshawn Lee, the targeted 9-year-old murder victim.
They knew about it and they were appalled at it.
Hoover, who co-founded the Gangster Disciples, has been in prison since a 1973 murder conviction. Fort formed the Black Keystone Nation in the 1960s. His ADMAX sentence is the result of a terrorism-related conviction. Investigators say a dispute between decades-later factions of gangs founded by Hoover and Fort led to the Tyshawn Lee murder last week.
Jeff, Malik, and Larry said, use my name. Tell those youngsters to stop the killing.
ADMAX houses just under 500 of America's worst criminals, including 9/11 conspirator Zacarias Moussaoui, the shoe bomber, the Unabomber, Oklahoma City, and Olympic bombers, to name a few. Hoover and Fort spend 23 hours a day in their cells and are allowed minimal human contact.
They didn't ask me to move mountains or to use any kind of clout to help them.
Rush is convinced that if Hoover and Fort are allowed to communicate, they could help the now desperate effort to stem Chicago's violence.
We cannot continue to allow our community to be wiped out.
The prison would not allow the congressman to make photos or voice recordings during his visit. Hoover and Malik could go weeks, months, even years without having this kind of human contact again. Reporting live from outside the ADMAX in Florence, Colorado, Charles Thomas, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Kathy, back to you.
Okay, Charles.
Even strangers gathered at a church today to remember a 9-year-old boy who was shot and killed last week. Police say Tyshawn Lee was lured into an alley near 80th and Damon where he was killed. Eyewitness News reporter Leah Hope talked with some of the people who paid their respects, and she joins us live. Leah?
Ron, 1 week ago, that 9-year-old was on his way to the park to play basketball, that basketball in hand. People say he always had that basketball with him. Well, today, as he is being mourned, among the funeral arrangements delivered to the church, one with a basketball in the center, signed by his classmates. Relatives were the first to spend time with Tyshawn. Visitation for 9-year-old Tyshawn Lee was open to family, friends, and strangers who simply wanted to pay respect to the boy killed last Monday afternoon.
It hurts because it is a child. Like I said, I got 3 of my own, actually, so I can only imagine.
I think it's sad that it ever happened to him.
The Dixon son was a classmate of Lee's. They say their son, who had been proud walking to and from school by himself, now is anxious to get rides.
Now his mother has to pick him up and take him every day because of this situation. So children should not have to endure these type of situations that's going on. And it's a society problem. It really is.
That I am fearful for my child, not just mine, but for all those children that have to walk home in our community and they, have to worry about, are we okay?
Lee's case remains unsolved, but Chicago police believe the 9-year-old was lured into an alley and shot multiple times, perhaps the result of a gang dispute connected to Lee's family. Whatever the reason, elders at Heaven of Rest Missionary Baptist Church volunteered their sanctuary for today's visitation.
I knew that some of the churches would have a fear because of the circumstances, but we said God is taking care of us.
The visitation continues here for another hour. The homegoing celebration will continue tomorrow. The wake and funeral will be at St. Sabina Church. We are live in the South Shore neighborhood. Leah Hope, ABC 7.